Hello, Holy One. Hello, hello. Oh. Welcome. Welcome to this space. Welcome to this space. I pause as I say that, and I feel so many incredible emotions of joy and gratitude and love as I say that. And there's a reason, there's a reason, there's a story, there's an understanding that I would love to share with you if you'd love to hear it. But right now, I'm actually seated in my new home. And some of you were here with me the other day, and we were in a space together on the couch, just allowing this alignment, allowing this acknowledgement of this moment. But why? Well, of course, a new home is always a blessing, a joy, a goal that's been achieved, a dream that has made it into, yes, manifestation. And all of that is happening here. But many, 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 many years ago, close to 20 years ago, yes, I began feeling a deep need to buy land, to find my way to a space in which I could build and live in connection with the land, as self-sufficient as possible, if needed. And at that time, I had what you call the everyday 9-to-5 job, doing the everyday regular world stuff, which is very important, very important. And I was very grateful for that space, but something inside me, yes, was gently prodding me forward to remember more of who I am and to allow that remembrance. And that meant a journey. That meant a journey of exploration of myself, of getting to know myself, of why I thought what I thought, why I believed what I believed, why I experienced what I was experiencing. And the draw, the desire, the calling of the land was there the whole time that I was moving through this space of remembrance, this space of awakening that was always there, that call of the land. Yes, the trees, the earth herself. And I did a lot of inner healing work, a lot of remembrance, and a lot of shifting out of victimhood and feeling as if everything was being done to me. And when things went what I considered wrong, it was everybody else's fault but mine. I can laugh now because I understand the differences in those vibrational spaces of existence. And it's not that it's funny for anyone to have to be in that space, but it's not that it's wrong either. There was nothing wrong with me. There was nothing wrong with me being in that alignment of feeling as if I was a victim. It gave me the opportunity to shift my perception, shift my belief structure, shift my understanding, and rise into the understanding of my truth, my essence, my core, which is that I am a sovereign, powerful creator being. I had no idea how powerful I was. I did not know I was creating it all. I did not know that I was aligning every single experience. And I know that's a big one. And I know there'll be a lot of people who will say, there's no way we align trauma, or there's no way we align abuse, or there's no way, that just doesn't make any sense. That is the journey of that individual soul's awakening. Nobody has done anything wrong. They are merely walking a path they chose to be optimal for their remembrance. And that can sound incredibly crazy, I guess, if the path is harsh, if it is traumatic, if it is difficult beyond words. But at those levels of experience in which it is harder, bigger, yes, more difficult, denser, uglier, yes, those spaces, yes, are, yes, at that level of difficulty, because your power is at its level of, yes, ability, sovereignty, meaning the more that you go through sometimes, it is because you are so strong, you are so powerful, that you would have designed such a path. Any other path would not have woken you, because you're just too big, powerful, sovereign, divine. And if you have a path in this lifetime that happens to have been pretty easy or pretty good comparably to others that you may know of, that would be my path. I had an incredibly beautiful childhood. I could give you storylines from my childhood that some could take and wrap up in, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that about you. But I was surrounded by so much love from my mother and my father and my sisters and my brother and my family that I was almost unaware of what I was going through. What am I talking about? When I was born, it seemed normal. Everything seemed good. I was healthy and happy and vibrant. But at a certain point of age, my mother realized I was unable to walk. And I was my mother's fourth child. She had an understanding of motherhood by the time I came along, yes? And as she watched this child of hers pull up onto the couch or the table, coffee table, and begin to venture into her first steps, and the child, I would just fall. It wasn't because I was building my strength or getting my balance, but it was as if something was wrong. It didn't look right, and it didn't feel right to my mother. And so my mother went to the doctors, and my mother asked for assistance, tests, advice, guidance, help from the medical field. And they all said the same thing: give her time. She'll walk when she's ready. Doctor after doctor after doctor, month after month after month, and my mother kept saying, something's wrong. Something's not right. Trusting her intuition. And after some time, my mother found a doctor, I believe affiliated with the University of Miami Medical School. And that doctor, yes, saw me one time, checked me out. I'm a little, want-to-be toddler. Yes, and that doctor looked at my mother and said, your intuition is right. Something is wrong. Her hips are not connected to her torso, her pelvic area. I had dislocated hips. So on your hips, on the sides of our body, there's a joint and it hooks in. Yes! and we're able then to use our legs. Well, mine were not hooked, so I could not use my legs. I could not walk. I could not, yes, I could not utilize the bottom half of my body. And my mother knew something was wrong. And she didn't give up. And she found a doctor who found what was wrong and fixed it. So they did surgery and they got my hips back into the way they were supposed to be. And then they wrapped me in a body cast from my waist all the way to my feet. There was like a bar between my legs below my knees, I believe, knee to ankle area. And it kept my legs in an exact position in which my hips could then be reset. So for a long time, what I remember from the stories I was told, months and months, I was in this cast. My mother had to care for my sanitary needs through a cast. So anyone tired of changing a regular diaper, consider the blessing. She was so loving and unwavering in her unconditional love and care for me. And I could not crawl or scoot or lift myself up because of this cast, on the entire lower part of my body. But I wanted to go. I wanted to move. So my papa at the time, he's no longer in here with us in the physical, but he is with me in spirit. My papa, my dad's dad, he built me a special get around. He took basically a skateboard and then he made the platform bigger. And that way I could be laid on it, on my belly, and my cast would be perfectly on there. And I would put my hands over the sides of it, and I would push myself around the house. But it gave me some type of freedom. And I liked it. I was happy. I was grateful. I've seen the photos and I sense it in my being. So my childhood had spaces in it that I could create stories from of doom and gloom and woe is me. But I look at all the love that was in those spaces, and it is what is amplified in my remembrance. Yes! There are other stories, having to be hospitalized at 2 years old with a space of near death due to an illness. I became healthy and strong again. Another story of me at a few years older, maybe 3 or 4, deciding that I was going to eat pennies. And my mother immediately grabbing me up off the floor as I was choking, holding me by my ankles, running me out the front door to the car to get me to the hospital, praying, begging, pleading, crying, and shaking, my body upside down. And as we walked out the front door and headed down the stairs, she heard clink, clink, clink. Yes, and 3 pennies fell out of my mouth. And my airway was open. Yes, I have other stories, and they can seem simplistic and they can seem inspiring, whatever you want them to be, but I share them because they're spaces of the first parts of this life for me, as this human, as Andrea. And they, to me, are confirmation of how incredibly loved I am, how incredibly surrounded by love I am, how incredibly safe I am, how I can trust myself, I can trust my life, I can trust the unfoldings. Had I been raised in a different type of belief structure, my parents were very, very positive people. You know, those kind of phrases of, if there's a will, there's a way. And if you can think it, you can do it. Had I been raised in some other types of mindsets and beliefs, those spaces I navigated may not have gone as good as they did. They may have been plugged into some different timelines that were available, that were at that lower level vibration of suffering and victimhood. But my parents didn't function in that vibration. My parents functioned in, yes, the vibration of peace, the vibration of faith, the size of a mustard seed can move a mountain. My parents functioned in, they were surrounded by love, and they taught their children, we were surrounded by love. And now I bring this remembrance to you, no matter where you're at on your path, no matter what you've been focusing on, no matter what you're ready to focus on, you are surrounded by love. And at the same time, Holy One, you are that very love that surrounds you. It's not happening to you. It's happening through you, as you. It's your energy. And you, only you, yes, direct your flow. Decide your flow. Guide your flow. Amplify your flow as you be your flow. There's so many spaces of incredible beauty available. May you see those spaces of you. That is what I see. When I look at you, even when you may be having a space that doesn't feel peaceful or loving, and I'm looking at you having your space in your interpretation, and my interpretation is how incredibly powerful you are. Trust yourself. Whatever it is right now, trust yourself. Remember who you are. You are an eternal being of light, a soul that is eternal, a soul that is divine, a soul that is one with the origin point of all creation. And you are having a now. Thank you for being in this space with me. I hope this blesses somebody in some way. May I share a blessing with you as we close this little space of us together. I speak a language, many refer to it as light language. I love to call it the language of the universe. Everyone can hear this and interpret the specific meaning that is in an alignment with them. That's how the language of the universe works. Listen with your heart and allow the space. Asane yana naoa. Asane yana naoa. Aboa ye yana kawa. Otoa tea porosone awa. Akao ho 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 aye yana nea. Asaboe ya yana kawa. Otoa ye. Otoa ye. Otoa ye yakao. Thank you for being this space with me. You are loved. Trust yourself. Lean in. Listen with your heart. You're getting a lot of information from a lot of spaces in your reality world, your human world. Please listen with your heart. You will know the truth. And it is that truth that is setting you free.